Yeah, shot this man. That shit shooter is down.
Let me get my shoes. Got you, sir. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold on, you're ready. Hold on. So we gotta move to the bus. Watch out.
This just won Trump so many supporters, so many more new supporters. They don't even know. What they talking about here, man?
But again, Lester, this just underscores, I think, that something fundamental has really shifted in our American politics today.
Yeah, it's certainly, the threat has been talked about, but to see it play out on this scale is certainly horrifying. Kristen, thank you for that. We'll go back to you in a bit. Let's bring in our senior Washington correspondent, Hallie Jackson. You have a statement from Donald Trump Jr., the former president's son.
Yeah, via a spokesperson to our colleague Peter Nicholas, that listen, you heard President Biden say he tried to reach former President Trump on the phone. We know that the former president's son has spoken with him in a statement saying they just talked on the phone, with Donald Trump Jr. saying that his dad is in great spirits, that he will never stop fighting to save America, no matter what in Donald Trump Jr.'s words, no matter what the radical left throws at him. So what we can glean from this, a couple of things: that former President Trump is, as his campaign says, fine. He is well enough to speak. He is well enough to be on the phone, at least with his immediate family members, at least with his son, Donald Trump Jr. We know that he is receiving medical treatment at a local facility, with this rally happening, of course, in Butler, Pennsylvania. And we know that there has been a slew of reaction, as Kristen, as you, as others have talked about from both sides of the aisle here, strongly condemning political violence after this very difficult day in American politics. Lester, we'll keep you updated as we get more.
All right, Hallie, thank you. Kip Tom, former U.S. ambassador to the UN, was just a few yards from the former president when the shots rang out. Thank you for joining us, sir. Can you tell us what you saw?
Well, I was just with the president a few moments earlier before he came on stage, and everything seemed like a normal day. But when he walked down that red carpet and walked up to the podium, and after he spoke for about 10 minutes, I was sitting in the front row at the end of the runway, but all of a sudden these shots broke out, and I think there was people that actually thought it was possibly fireworks, but I seen the gun smoke, and obviously there was a person about 15 foot behind me that was hit. So I think severely wounded at the least, but nonetheless, the crowd stayed pretty calm for the most part, and but you know, it sounded like there was 6, 7 shots to start with, and then it seemed like there was a little pause, and then we heard a different caliber gun fired, which I assume was probably the Secret Service. But then I thought I heard another couple rounds come off, but it felt like it was behind me, but it could have been the echo.
Did you hear did President Trump say anything?
No, he was just giving the typical rally speech that he typically does everywhere, you know, and trying to encourage voters to get out and vote. And talking about his plan for America.
But as the shots rang out, did you hear? Did he cry out? Did someone tell him to get down, or was that instinctive?
Yeah, we heard that. We heard everybody say get down, but I think he was already going down. That's when everybody thought at first maybe he had been hit more severely than he was. I mean, it's already severe. And let's face it, it hit his ear. It could have been a little bit closer. It could have been disastrous. But when he went down to the ground and he got up, he put his fist up in the air or his hand up in the air. So we knew he was okay.
There are presumably, at least it appears to be, a lot of people in that crowd. By now you have heard that one spectator was killed and others critically wounded. Has it settled in of how close a brush everybody in that arena or setting came tonight?
Yeah, there was a lot. It was interesting listening to the people as they departed the scene, and what was going through my mind, and of course being a little older than many of those that were there, but I was recalling the Kennedy assassinations and some of the other attempts that were made during my lifetime, and I was recalling those and thinking about those, and then moving forward to where we're at today.
Yes, baby.
We still have a problem with this, so it's shocking. But most people are pretty upset. There's no question about it.
Understandably. Ambassador, thank you so much for taking the time being with us. We're glad you and yours are safe after this tonight.
It was already
retired ATF Special Agent Jim Cavanaugh is with me. By now, as you know, we've been reporting that the shooter in this case is deceased, presumably shot by law enforcement. I think the next question will be, is this a lone operator, the proverbial lone wolf, or is this part of some kind of conspiracy? Those are two different things. How will they begin to get, at least put the dots together?
Yeah, well, let's start with the deceased shooter, Lester, and identify him, and then, sweep his personal devices, phone, computer, etc., for, associates, confederates, and start interviewing around the circle around him. You've dug out a lot from the reporters and the witnesses since we last talked, and it appears that maybe the shooter. It seemed like to me, watching the video closely, that the first shot or two is where the President Trump reacts.
Hey, Jim, let me just stop you for a second. I just received a new piece of information that I want to get your thoughts on. We're now, from a confirmed source, that the shooter was actually fired from outside the perimeter. That changes a lot in terms of the security posture at these things, doesn't it?
It does, but what's surprising to me is that a shooter could get in an elevated position at any kind of a Secret Service event, because the first thing that the service does is they get all the elevated positions, and they put their sniper teams up there and lookouts with binoculars and rifles. So it does seem from the witnesses that this was a distant shot now, that the reason the shot wasn't as loud, it was further off in the distance. And it looked like, watching the video, Lester, closely, that when the president turned his head to the right, the first shot or second shot, the first pop or two, is when he grabs his right ear. And then he, on his own volition, goes down, squats down. No, he doesn't fall down, he just squats down. But you can see at that same moment that the spectators behind him are also hunching down as a normal reaction to gunfire. And then there's more rounds right after that. There's maybe another 5 rounds. And Dasha Burns had a witness that she just interviewed, and he talked about he counted 7 rounds. And that was close. I don't know, can't tell the exact number. I have to listen to that audio very, very closely. But I mean, that sort of jives with what the witness said. So it looks like we had an assassin with a rifle outside the security perimeter. That's why you had mentioned earlier, magnetometers. Well, if you never breach the security perimeter, nobody checks you. And the first shot or second might have been the one intended to kill the former president, but it grazed his right ear.
Yeah, Jim, let me bring back Evie Pomporis, a former Secret Service agent again. Evie, thank you for staying with us. I'd like to get your reaction to the fact this person was firing from outside the perimeter. That raises a lot of questions about how these areas are secured.
That's one of the most difficult things when you do outdoor sites. So when we spoke before, when you look at it this way, when you're in a closed environment, even if it's an arena, at least you're in a closed environment. I only have to worry about what's on the inside. When you do open rallies like this, right? You're outside. You have to worry about line of sight issues. Line of sight is a massive problem. Why is it a problem? Because somebody can be out in the distance and really engage your target from a long range. And there are weapons out there that allow you to do this. So even though, let's say you hunker this whole area down, you've got the magnetometers, you've got the tactical element, everything's locked and tight. How do you secure that outer perimeter? How far do you go? And can you cover everything? That's a problem. These are probably, of all the types of advances you can do, these are probably the least favorite amongst Secret Service agents, because you have the inability. And even if somebody is in an elevated position or not, how do you secure all those elevated positions when you have weapons with the capabilities that are able to shoot long distances? This is what you are up against.
Yeah, and you point about weapons that can shoot long distances. We tend to think of those as long guns, things that stand out certainly in a crowd, whether no matter what side of the fence you're on. The fact that this person is at some distance was able to strike the former president, does that suggest some ability beyond the average gun user?
Well, that would be interesting to see, right? Because it's hard to speculate at this point. How far was that person? One of the things that lead me to think that this person was at a distance, when we hear the gunshot, it sounds very faint, very soft, right? It sounds like an echo. That's why so many people mistook it for fireworks. That's why a lot of people...
You weren't listening to the program here, but Lester Holt, NBC News, just reporting that one of the attendees has died from injuries as a result of the shooting. Joseph, you told me off camera that you may have witnessed this, and I'm so sorry to be talking to you in this tragic moment, but can you describe what it is that you saw?
I was attending the rally. I was in the set of bleachers, the very far left of the podium where President Trump was speaking. I was there with friends. I heard several gunshots. The man beside me suffered a gunshot wound to the head.
Damn.
Was instantly killed. Fell to the bottom of the bleachers.
Just right in the beginning, I was like, is it fake? Is it real? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it fake? Is it real? Because I was like, like, why is Trump the only one shot? Because they didn't report that somebody else got shot yet. But, because I didn't see nobody fall or nothing, on the scene.
The woman was like she got hit in the forearm or hand.
And that was so
at that
calm.
point in time, it was rather chaotic at that point because half the people were looking because they thought it was fireworks. I knew it was gunshots right away. My friend, he hit the deck. I was kind of looking around just trying to see where the shots were coming from. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from behind the bleachers. It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind. He was killed instantly, as far as I could tell. And at that point, it was a state police and a SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
He's deceased.
Deceased.
He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. It wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, that's a police ranger. They put a towel over his head and then carried him off.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either behind or above me or just...
Stop, baby. Stop, son.
But it seemed like she was kind of up my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard multiple gunshots, 8 to 11 shots. We've been hearing it replayed on the video here. Do you remember, or can you tell? I know it was a chaotic scene, but at what point was it? Immediately when you heard the gunshots that he was shot, or was it later on into the firing?
The first 7, he was hit and she was hit within the first 7 shots. I counted 7 shots.
What was going through your mind? You were right there. I know it happened so quickly, but what can you tell us about those moments?
First, I was in shock because I know what gunshots sound like, so I knew they were gunshots. I couldn't tell from where they were coming from. And when I noticed someone got hit, then I noticed, well, it seemed like they were coming from behind me. and it just was pandemonium. And then I heard some more shots. I couldn't quite tell where they were coming from, but I counted the first 7. They were very loud, very close, and it killed one man and wounded another woman.
And Joseph, you told me that you're a doctor, you're an OBGYN. How did that background play into how quickly you were sort of able to assess the situation and know what happened to these individuals and know what was going on?
Well, I told the police, when I tried to render assistance, I told the police I could render assistance. They had another physician on the EMT team, so they kind of took over. So they didn't really need me, so I kind of helped carry them down initially out of bleachers. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't, the man that got hit, there was no assistance that needed to be given, and unfortunately his family witnessed the whole thing. It seemed like he had several family members in the bleacher with him, and they were quite upset. They didn't know, they were in shock. They didn't quite know what's going on, but the man was definitely killed in his stainless.
Did you tell us sort of how many family members or people who knew him were with him, and what was their reaction?
I thought there was 5 people. 2 of them were relatively hysterical. So, but they were, when we took the man out of the bleachers, he went to the tent. There was an aid tent or some type of tent behind the bleachers where they took the body, and they immediately evacuated the family with them. And the 2 out of the 5, it seemed, in shock, hysterical. They were still trying to process what was going on.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard the shots. We saw the president go down.
I saw President Trump get hit.
What can you tell us? What details you remember?
It seemed like his head was off to the side, and it seemed like he got nicked in the ear.
Was that before the Secret Service took him down to the ground, covered him?
Right before the Secret Service. I mean, it was maybe, again, it's hard to tell, time dilates when, it seemed like it was a second or 2. Like, the first 7 shots that went off, the man got hit, he was killed almost instantly. The woman in the bleachers, she got injured, she got hit in the forearm and the hand. And then in those rounds that were fired, again, I was videoing the event, so that's when I saw Trump get hit. And it seemed to me like he was looking to the side and the round grazed his ear. So.
Could you tell the gentleman that was hit in the head what angle he was in relation to the former president, which direction the bullets were coming from and to?
So it looked like he was facing the president at the very far left portion of the bleachers, so he's directly facing it. Again, it seemed to me like the shots were coming from the rear, behind us. And for me, it seemed like the man was in the way. I guess...
In the way of the former president?
No, it seemed like the man was in the way of the shots between whoever was shooting the gun and the president. The man was hit, it seemed like he was in the crossfire.
And I know...
That's what I have evidence of, it seemed.
And I know you're in shock and still processing all of this. It's sort of hard to evaluate our own emotions in this moment, but you just experienced something horrific.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your state of mind right now?
Yeah, I've had opportunities to go to these rallies before. It was the first one I ever went to. Had time off to go do it. I was kind of excited to go, but it's.
This is crazy. I'm low-key in shock too, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. This is scary, man. This is why I hate going in public.
Everyone, it's something you don't expect. It comes out of the blue. It's like a bolt out of the blue, and it's shocking. The way politics goes in this country, it just seems like it's really polarized. Everyone's just very angry. I'm honestly shocked this didn't happen earlier. I was coming to my friend and went to the event with me. I was like, the back behind the bleachers, it's really open. It seems like a really open venue, and it's just, I got this sense that, if someone really wanted to do something, and again, I was openly talking to her, and I was like, if something was bad was going to be happening, this is the perfect venue to have. I just said this an hour before it happened. I was like, this would be the perfect place to do it. And, surprisingly enough, it happened.
A devastatingly prescient observation from you. Let me ask one more question, because from where I was, there was confusion, then Trump stood up and there were some cheers, and then people sort of remained, those that weren't in sort of the immediate zone where you were.
Man, I don't know why, but I'm so glad Trump is not, they didn't get him. I'm happy that they didn't get him. I don't know why, but I'm just am.
People were still sort of cheering, talking, trying to figure out what was going on. How quickly did you know that whether or not there was still a dangerous situation? It seemed like people sort of started to try to move on very quickly, not sure what had happened, right? So how soon did you know whether or not it was even safe? Did you want to get out of there? What did you witness in sort of the immediate aftermath once the shots stopped?
Well, it seemed after the shots went off, everyone thought it was a prank. Everyone, I think, got a sense, like when I looked out into the crowd, everyone thought, I think the initial reaction, everyone thought it was a prank. I knew better it was a gunshot because I just saw a guy get. And it did.
For those of us that didn't see, it's some people started laughing, some people were confused. It wasn't immediately clear to the crowd that didn't witness what you witnessed, that this was in fact a dangerous and deadly situation.
Oh, it was a dangerous and deadly situation. The problem is it's a large crowd, and when the gunshots went off, I think they were, again, my sense was they were being shot from behind, so they sounded a bit muffled. So it sounded more like a firecracker going off. So I think the initial reaction from the people around me were like, okay, well, someone brought fireworks. I just knew better. I know what gunshots sound like. And, when I saw the guy took a gunshot wound to the head, and then I saw the woman that got hit in the forearm and the hand, I just knew that it wasn't fireworks. I mean, it wasn't fireworks initially, but I think the majority of the crowd didn't understand that it was gunfire. And I think people took it really seriously when the SWAT team started jumping over the rails. So I don't know what to say outside of that.
Joseph, I know this, I can't imagine what it takes to describe what you just witnessed in these moments right in the aftermath. So we thank you so much for sharing.
I'm happy to.
Lester?
And Dasha, thank you for that account. I mean,
Lester, so we made it out of the venue area. We have all evacuated. Again, press, attendees, everyone who was there is now out of the area. We are currently in the parking lot. Again, there were thousands of people at this rally, as there are at many rallies. There are a lot of cars in this parking lot, all looking to leave. As we were getting ready to speak with you, we just ran into Joe and Donna, a mother-son, who say that they were right there. They were in the area where this happened. Donna, let me start with you. First of all, are you okay?
Yes, I'm shook. I'm definitely shook up, but I'm okay. Yeah, and Trump was talking, watching him. I heard pop, pop, pop. I thought it was like a cap gun. And my son's like, "Gun, get down." And next thing you know, everybody around us was down. And then once we got down, we was up at the top of our bleacher. The men were yelling to all the snipers and all the cops to come over because he had shot a man and a woman in our bleacher. We heard the one is very fatal. We don't know that for sure, but they were down. They went out.
So Joe, what exactly did you see? Because from our vantage point, we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't see any individuals. All we could do was listen for those sounds. But what did you see?
Again, I was watching the president, and you hear the gunshots go off. Remarks from up top said that the shooter actually climbed up the back of the bleacher. And after we got down, like my mom said, there was 2 people down. They were calling for medics. We did see the 2 people that were shot, and we saw them get carried out. Like, I don't know. The one didn't look like they were okay. I hope the other one's okay, and just may God watch over them tonight.
And Don, you said 2 people. Were these 2 people fellow attendees of the rally? And what kind of did you see them get shot directly, or did you just see the aftermath?
No, you just heard the noise. You heard the pop, 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 seen the aftermath, and neither of them looked good. They were both down. Nobody was talking. Nobody was moving.
What was going through your mind as you were witnessing all of this?
Are they still here? And am I going to get shot? That's what's going through my mind. He's holding my hand, and we were going to get up and try to get out of here. And some gentleman there said, "No, you stay down." So we stayed down, and then we finally heard everybody evacuate, and he grabbed my hand, and we got out of there.
The Secret Service spokesperson just posted on X saying an incident occurred the evening of July.
What Sleepy Joe said? What Sleepy Joe said?
By all the agencies in the federal government as the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to him shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this.
Did he set it up?
To be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have engaged in making sure that the people who, and we have more detail to come relative to other injured, maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if we don't, if I'm not able to give, if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that there's thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, and I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened they learned any more in the last couple hours? So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Do you think there was an assassination attempt?
Yes.
I don't know enough to, I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried about President, was the security failing
The president.
Yes, that's an attempted assassination. What y'all think? What y'all talking about, man?
The Secret Service spokesperson just posted on X saying an incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation and further information will be released when available. Again, that is from the Secret Service. Everyone,
man, this
just
is the craziest thing I ever witnessed, bro.
What has occurred?
I never thought I would witness a president assassination attempt. Like, you know, like this is crazy. But I think Trump just won, man. Like he about to gain a lot of supporters because people like a mystery. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody gonna be like, okay, if he's such a bad person, why y'all trying to take him out? Because, you know, as we believe, like, if they trying to kill him, that means he got something on him. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, like, I feel like now a lot of people are going to be drawn to Trump. And a lot of people are going to start, like, saying, like, you know, a lot of people don't like what the government be up to. Because you don't, I'm not trying to, allegedly, you know, like they did JF Kennedy, you know what I'm saying? Now he's the new JF Kennedy, you know what I'm saying? Because, except they didn't get him. You know, they got JF, but they didn't get Trump. You know what I'm saying? This is really, 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 really crazy, man. Like, what? I want to go see what Twitter talking about. X. What they talking? Man, what? Man, I don't even know my stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know my shit, bro. Firm, man. I be signing up with my shit, bro. Oh, this my shit all the time. What they talking about? Man, I know them comments about to be crazy. Dismiss. I be forgetting how you read this shit, bro. I think you just press on it and then you keep going. What are people talking about? I forgot how you do this, man. I be forgetting how you do it. I'm trying to read this Trump shit, man. Can't wait to see him walk out too. Many man. Yo, that's gonna be funny as hell if he does it. You know what I'm saying? Let me close this door, man. My son just be pulling stuff, man. My son just crazy. What they talking about, man? Can't wait to see his source for MVP. Shot taken. This is this is crazy. Yeah, this is the hardest pick ever right now. This a gangster pick right here, man. This right here, this is the winning pick, boy. This right here, this is crazy. Them niggas try to take Trump out, man. This is crazy. Yo, I'm trying to.
To me, as you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's going on, was he...
No, cause somebody got killed. Somebody got killed, bruh. I see this, but somebody got killed, man. That's why somebody got killed in that rally, bruh. Yeah, that's a civilian, man. That's a civilian. So let me see. I
To
didn't even
me,
see
as
this.
you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's going on, was he shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, let me grab my shoes as they tried to take him off. So we're just trying to figure
Yeah,
out what happened.
that man deceased, man. This is insane, man. Yeah, that's an attendee. Wow, people are, oh my, of course, he don't even have a. People are crazy, man. This is insane. This is the hardest pick winning right now, bro. This right here. Staged? Somebody died. What are you talking about staged? People are insane, bro. People are just be talking, man. What's this, man? Yeah. I should go make me some t-shirts, man. What are you talking about? Y'all are missing out. Y'all are missing out, man. But shit, this is insane, man. I'm about to go ahead and end this stream real quick, right? That was it for the Trump stuff.